Trainer, hello. Fine day at the track, isn't it? A sunny, pleasant day like this is exactly what our students need to perform at their best. I thought I might come find you while the students under your care do their stretches and preparations. We have the next race in the series coming quite soon. It's good to see everyone taking their training seriously and maximizing their potential even in the final days before. That's one of the keys to success anyway, in my humble opinion. Taking one's work seriously, but also making sure one doesn't overextend themselves and cause an avoidable accident. We wouldn't want that at all. I'm so glad to hear your best students are thriving and setting an example for the others. You've been a fine trainer for these young Umamusume. We can already see an improvement in their skills. There hasn't been any issues or incidents to report, have there? You're such a disciplined and talented trainer. I'm sure you'd tell me if there were. I don't mean to be overbearing. I just want to ensure everyone is on track for success as well as they can be. Even minor scrapes and bruises should be seen to. We wouldn't want any surprises or accidents that spiral into something much worse. But you seem well on top of things. That's wonderful. But actually, trainer, I'm here to discuss a different matter with you. No, it doesn't have to do with any of your students in particular. It actually has to do with you and I. I believe we have some private business between us to discuss. I'll get right to the point. When you aren't busy training, you've been doing some extracurricular activities, haven't you? Why do you look nervous, trainer? Of course, as a member of the staff of Tracen Academy, you're free to use our facilities however and whenever you please. I've just noticed that late at night recently, you've been sneaking off to the Academy's library, haven't you? How do I know this? As secretary to the director, I'm aware of nearly everything that occurs here on our campus. There's very little that goes unnoticed by me. So, trainer, is there anything you would like to report about your research? No. You want to maintain deniability. That's quite alright. Allow me to elaborate for you. The heart of the matter is this. You know my real identity, don't you? Oh, look at your face. You really didn't expect me to say that, did you? Don't worry. I think this conversation will end in a way you find agreeable. At least, it can, potentially. Really, there's no use in denying it. I've been aware of what you've been up to for some time now. It started with those glances you stole my way. Perhaps innocuous at first. I thought perhaps you were just interested in me. There would be nothing wrong with that. But then, your glances became more frequent. I noticed how your eyes tended to drift towards my hat that I'm always wearing. Maybe wondering if there's anything underneath, And then, trainer, I noticed how often your eyes wandered over my legs. It's natural, of course, for a man to notice a fine pair of legs. But then I realized you weren't looking at mine the way a man typically looks at a woman's legs. You were looking at my legs the way you might one of your students. Clinical, appraising, almost as if you were trying to measure the strength and speed they're capable of. I'm well familiar with that look you get in your eye when you're in your trainer's mindset. Why then would you be looking at me like I'm an Umamusume? Don't you know, silly trainer, that I'm simply one of the human staff? Oh no, I suppose you've seen right through me, haven't you? Your discerning eye is simply too keen. You can see the potential in my muscles. You've deduced the reason I'm always wearing my hat when around others. Your research in our historical archives only confirmed it. You're aware that I, too, am an Umamusume. Shh. we wouldn't want the girls to overhear, would we? It might startle them and distract them from their training to hear a legendary racer is in their midst. You look surprised to hear that. Are you telling me you hadn't quite figured out my exact identity before I decided to confront you today? What a shame. It might have been fun allowing you to discover it on your own. But since you've gotten most of the way there, we might as well conclude the mystery now, I'll tell you directly then. In another life, I was the great racer known as Tokino Minoru. You look amazed. I should hope you've heard of me, you being the caliber of trainer that you are. Tokino Minoru? Does that name ring a bell at all? Or did my flame burn too bright, only to be forgotten? That's alright. I understand if it has. Not many remember me these days. Only those who keep track of up-and-comers whose careers fail to fully materialize. Tokino Minoru. Just saying that name brings back so many memories, sweet and bitter. It's true. I was a legendary racer. In fact, I never lost a race in my entire career, as short of a career as that ended up being. You see, trainer, I once had dreams of being the greatest racer in the world. A triple crown Uma. I was going to win the highest accolades in Japan and begin traveling to races around the world. I was fast, incredibly so. I would break away from my competitors often. Nearly every race, I broke a new record. For a time, it seemed I was unstoppable, a force of nature, perhaps the greatest racer there would ever be. And then, that fateful day happened. I didn't know the race I took on that day would be my last. I overextended myself. It was one simple mishap that should never have happened. My trainer warned me I was pushing myself too hard, trying to improve too quickly without taking the proper precautions. I wanted to be faster, always faster. Every race, I wanted to see noticeable improvements. Every race, I wanted to end in a perfect victory. Then, the accident occurred. Mid-race, something broke. I fell, and my world went dark. All I could feel was pain, and all I could wonder was, is this the end for me? Is this really how my career would come to a sudden halt? It seemed so unfair. I was in the prime of my racing career. All the other racers were ahead of me. They all finished, and I was left in the dust. History doesn't like remembering the losers, especially the losers who choose to never pick themselves back up and try again. My first loss, I chose to be that kind of loser. I rested and healed, but after that, my top speed and stamina were never quite the same. Even though I was still able to put in a decent performance on the track, I was still a shadow of my former self. I could have kept training, kept competing, trying to get my old records back, but deep down, I knew I would never be able to race the same as I once did. It all felt a bit pointless for my career to continue. So, I decided to shift gears. I took on a new identity, that of a humble secretary at one of the finest racing academies in the country. I decided that if I couldn't become the best, at least I could put my management skills to use, helping the next generation of young ladies be. That, too, was fulfilling in a way. I was never meant to be a trainer. I couldn't trust myself to be, not after the way I ended my own career. I couldn't put others at risk, so I instead became Tazuna Hayakawa. I've learned the humility of quiet service in these years since. This, I decided, is to be my life going forward. Why must this be kept secret? My identity as Tazuna Hayakawa is very important to me, trainer. If it were to ever come out who I was, everything would be ruined. All of the hard work I put into disappearing and becoming anonymous. We wouldn't want that, would we? The press would be all over me, and it would overshadow the poor young Umas who should be the center of attention. No, that wouldn't be fair to them at all. So, you can see why it'd be a problem to me for anyone to find out my identity. I take my secret very seriously. Gravely seriously, if need be. Well, I said this conversation should have an ending you would find enjoyable, didn't I? The truth is, there are two ways this conversation can end. One is very unpleasant, and the other should be quite agreeable, I think. You see, the secret of who I used to be in another life, and the fact that I was an Umamusume, must never leave my confidence. And now that you know my secret, there are only two ways I can guarantee you'll keep it. Option 1 is the more unpleasant option. Being executed. You don't have to look so alarmed. I wouldn't do it here out on the training field, not in front of all your students. No, of course not. You'll just let me know if you would prefer option 1, and I'll handle it later when you're alone. I don't have to worry about you escaping me, because of how incredibly fast I am. Even if you started running now where it would compromise my identity to give chase, you couldn't possibly run far enough in that time to where I would lose you. Hopefully you can see how hopeless option 1 would be for you. So, we don't want to go with that option, right? I'm glad you're interested in option 2. That's my preferred option as well. Option 2 is you and I marry. This option shouldn't come as a shock, trainer. You and I are both at the right age to be seeking a lifelong companionship, and your constant attention on me, inquisitive as it might have been in nature, has had the effect of me noticing you as well. You're quite a handsome and physically fit man, and you are very good with your students. It's quite admirable. You are so kind, calm, and caring with them. You're always there to pick them up when they fall and encourage them to push their limits and reach new bests. That's exactly the kind of energy I miss from my life as a racer. It would be good to have that in my life again. Perhaps not directed at me, but still, your caring energy is so infectious. And to tell you the truth, I've felt affection for you for quite some time now. Watching you, I've fantasized about us perhaps dating, going on long walks together to stretch our legs, eat together, or even hold hands. I've nurtured these feelings for you quietly, not daring to speak them aloud, but instead hoping one day they could be realized. Now I have the opportunity to fulfill my dreams of being with you, and with you, finally being able to truly settle down. I think this has all worked out for the best after all. So, what do you say? Do you want to pick option 1 and do your best to flee, knowing I would be able to catch you after not too long? Or would you rather pick option 2 and live a long and fulfilling life with a wife whose little secret you need to keep? I certainly know which I would pick if I was in your position. It can't be that hard to decide, can it? You already spend all your time here at the academy. It seems a natural progression to marry into the institution. So, what do you say? Shall we be husband and wife, forever taking new racers under our wing and preparing them together? Oh, I'm so glad you said yes to my proposition. I think we'll be quite wonderful together. I'll inform the director promptly of our intention to wed. I bet we can have the ceremony right here in Academy grounds. Won't that be convenient? We'll have all our students take the day to join us in celebrating our reunion. Well, I shouldn't keep you from your students any longer. We do have the race coming up after all. Go ahead and go to them, and I'll see to the preparations. Don't you worry about it at all. Before you know it, we'll be married. Our wedding day will be on us before you even know it. Perhaps once we have alone time, I'll even let you see what's under my hat. You can inspect my legs closer as well if you'd like to. But for now, go ahead and go about your day. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Why do you look so baffled, trainer? I told you I would handle things quickly. Here we are, ready to be wed on Academy grounds. I knew the director would allow us to. And don't all of your students look so happy for us? Look at all their shining faces. We've gotten so many well wishes already. It's sweet to receive all the support. We are like a family here at the Academy in a way, aren't we? Getting married was the logical thing to do after all. It's time for our vows, trainer. Trainer, I vow to always love you, always support you through sickness and in health, and always keep your secrets, just as you will with me. I vow to always be the best wife I can possibly be as we take on the challenge of making our students the best racers in the world. There's nothing I would rather spend my life doing than being right here with you. Oh, don't worry too terribly about your vows. I know I didn't give you much time to prepare. We can skip directly to the fun part. How about a kiss to seal our marriage?